You're listening to That's It, presented by the Parks and Patton Show. Now your hosts, Derek Parks and Matt Patton.
All right, we're back on the Parks and Patton Show, presented by That's It. A lot of things going on in the sports world today.
A lot of bad stuff.
Yeah, past couple weeks, just been a lot of hectic sports stuff altogether.
Yeah.
I just now recently heard about Dalvin Cook. Didn't even know this. Dalvin Cook allegedly beat up his girlfriend as soon as she came back from Florida.
Yeah, and
Like,
his
what?
side of the story is that she came there, held him and his guest at gunpoint. So
It's like, why did she hold him at gunpoint?
all the details haven't come out. Only words that he said about it so far is that the truth will come out. That's all that we've heard so far. So
God,
I'm gonna be eating popcorn. I'm gonna be like Michael Jackson in the movie theater.
Yeah, well,
like just watching it.
Watching the Thriller movie. You ain't gotta tell me. Oh my gosh, it's just what do you make of this? Do you believe the girlfriend? You believe Cook? Like, what did you see for Cook's career moving forward? Because we saw what happened when Ray Rice beat up that girl,
There was video evidence of that, though.
and then we also saw when Joe Mixon beat up that girl on the subway.
Video evidence of that.
And he's still in the league, and one's not in the league. All three of these guys are running back.
I mean, I don't know if there's something about running backs in the league. I really don't know who to believe just because it's so new. Like,
Right.
whenever you start hearing the details, you can kind of make your own opinion, be like, okay, that sounds plausible. That sounds plausible. Why would she go all the way from Florida to Minnesota just to hold him at gunpoint? As well as why would she, if she knows it's an abusive situation, go from Florida, where she's safe, to Minnesota to get beat up again? I mean, I don't know. Like, I know that abuse mentality is a lot different. It's just, I don't know who to believe at this point. Like, there's some crazy stuff going on in the NFL.
Right. So you're saying you believe there's probably a history of abuse within the relationship?
If there is, not necessarily, I don't know if it's physical, but definitely psychological. If something like this, either one of their sides of the story, there's psychological abuse.
Right.
And verbal, at least, I guarantee that's there. But, oh man, I really don't know what to make of it other than they're both crazy.
Yeah.
Like, let's go with that.
See, now I gotta see the girlfriend. I gotta see what the girlfriend's even looking like. That's going to make a huge difference. Let's see.
I haven't
So it
I haven't
says
seen a picture.
he has a wife, and it says Dalvin Cook ex-girlfriend sues for domestic violence, including body pics of alleged injuries. Let's see. So I'm looking at the pictures right now.
But the crazy thing is, no criminal charges were filed against either one of them.
Yeah.
She didn't do it against him. He didn't do it against her. So, like,
And that's like that Ray Rice situation, because Ray Rice's girlfriend didn't want to say anything either, to be honest.
Yeah.
But the video evidence is what got him, because she literally came on the air and was like, she was serious sorry for what happened.
oh yeah,
Like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
you got beat up, and you're apologizing for getting beat up.
yeah.
So,
I'm sorry, I got knocked out.
yeah.
I'm sorry, I was hit by a foot long in Subway. Like, no, you shouldn't be doing that. Like, that is not you, girl.
So it's like, if I just want to go off of skepticism, the girlfriend looks crazy, but nobody's being friends with a lot of girls. No girl is crazy unless they are pushed to the craziness by some guy.
And how much of a god mentality does Dalvin Cook probably have?
Yeah.
He's an elite running back in the NFL making money. Never been told he's bad ever in his life.
That is true.
He's been raised up and said, you're the greatest of all time by everybody.
Yeah.
So how much of a you can't touch me mentality does he have?
Oh, I can see it. It's definitely there, especially with being a running back. It's like the three cornerstone positions, like running back, receiver, quarterback. When you're at that position, like, you just feel like you're
Let's think
untouchable.
defensive ends too. If they're
Yep.
elite, like Myles Garrett, he's thinking
most
it.
definitely.
Because he's beating up the guys that are supposedly the
Yeah.
greats. So he's the greatest of the greats.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know what to believe right now, just because, like you said, it's so new and early. I want to lean on the side of Dalvin Cook just because of the fact that, I mean, why are you gonna say, like, the gunpoint thing? Like, that just sounds.
That's very specific.
Yeah, it's a pretty specific detail, but at the same time, why is she holding everybody at gunpoint anyways? I don't know the specifics of the details.
Yeah.
I should do more research on the subject at hand. But if it's simply over domestic violence, why are you coming all the way from Florida just to come up there and hold your mans at gunpoint? Unless it's a situation to where, oh well, I'm slated to come back on this day of the week, and we got in an argument leading
Yeah.
up to it. So now I'm gonna show him what I'm about.
I almost want to be inclined to believe her just because we've seen what has happened in the NFL, how people get away with stuff time and time again. And if it was like, say, his boys, his posse that was there, they're going to have the accounts from his opinion. Whatever he
most
says coming out of
definitely.
his mouth is what his boys are going to say.
Most definitely.
So even if there's eyewitnesses, how much do you believe them if they're close eyewitnesses that are friends with? So it's like, it's so new. It just came out today.
Jeez,
Like,
yeah, that's something where it's like you got to take that with a grain of salt. Because I know my friends and family will lie for me all day, every day,
oh yeah,
without hesitation, without a second thought, without even needing the situation explained. Especially
Yeah.
if I'm in a situation like that where my career is teetering on the line. Like he's already injury prone. I'm not saying he wouldn't get a second shot after this, but domestic abuse, where we're in this quote unquote cancel culture,
yeah.
his production level has been kind of inconsistent as of what it was in 2017 and 2018, and now we're in the year 2021. He's,
Yeah.
what I'll say, he probably got drafted around 21, 22. He's been in the league for 4 years. He's looking at around 26 years old.
He should be in his prime.
Yeah, 26, 27. And after this year, after 26, 27, running backs we've seen with Todd Gurley, I think even DeMarco Murray, Le'Veon Bell, like after that,
Chris Johnson.
after they're 27 years old, they fall off.
Yeah.
So he's on the brink of his career being over, basically. And this right here isn't helping it. So honestly, his friends are paying everybody that was there, you got to take it with a grain of salt. I don't even know if you really
They
could.
shouldn't be eyewitnesses.
No.
Because they're going to just testify on however they want to, whether
Right.
it's the truth or not. Like, this is how it is.
Yeah.
Like you said, I can call anybody in my phone right now, family related, minus my mom. My mom is a straight truth teller. Like, they were like, "Hey, where's Matt?" Well, I don't know. He said he was with you. He lied. Like, my mom's straight up one of those people. But my sister be like, "Hey, is Matt with you?" We're like, "Yeah." And I'm sitting right next to the person that's asking.
Yes.
Like,
Yes, same here. So it's like we all know how these situations go down. And even like a little aside, little off topic thing. You know, the whole Gabby Petito thing that's been going on and all that stuff. I don't really believe that the dude is dead. That's just me personally, because they just said they found what was it, the dental records of the guy or something like that, but no body was identifiable or something like that.
I didn't follow it as closely as my wife did.
Girlfriend also followed it closely.
Of course, yeah. I really do believe, like, girlfriends, wives, they're just secretly finding out the best way to kill you and hide it if you need to in the future.
Obviously. But the point that I'm trying to get at with it is they said they only found dental records. The parents were not even sad when they said their son was dead and they were not holding a memorial service for him or none of that stuff.
Yeah.
Me and my girlfriend, who follows this stuff, she follows it religiously. We're both on that same mindset of we don't think he's dead, and we think the parents are lying.
Absolutely.
And obviously, the parents are gonna lie for their own kid. I mean, heck, even if you did do something bad, if you have that type of relationship with your parents, like, because I know that a lot of people don't grow up in great households or whatever, but if you have that great relationship with your parents, and like, what kind of parents are gonna be like, oh yeah, my son, he's actually upstairs right now. If you want to come get him, no, they're not. Like, you'd be a terrible family member. You're gonna let your kid run off and go wherever he needs to go to not go to jail.
Yeah.
Especially when it's for murder. That's 20 to 30 plus years.
I actually did see a drone footage. I don't know if you saw this one, where like they were out in their garden. They had a raised up flower bed or whatever, and the mom like looked around, and then she had like something in her hand that looked like food, and she put it down, and you saw like fingers like kind of sticking out of it. So people were thinking that there's like an underground bunker there. That's where he's hidden, and that if there was like dental records that showed it was him, like, you can pull out all your teeth and you can get fake ones and you'll be perfectly fine.
Literally, you can get like 3 to 4 teeth pulled out. No effort.
Yeah. And so it was great because like it was straight up. You could see fingers.
Wow.
And people
I gotta see this now.
Yeah.
But it just goes back to a point. So it's like you can't take the Dalvin Cook stuff. You can't take the eyewitness account seriously at all. It's just
no.
There's no point to. I'm really curious to how this is gonna end up. You know.
Well, hopefully it doesn't end up like the rug situation.
Yeah, that was terrible too.
Like, it was going 156, I think, or whatever,
157.
and it was found whenever upon impact he was going 127. The girl was like in a Prius too, so obviously that thing's
And
not
he was
built
in a
to take.
brand new Corvette.
He was a brand new Corvette going that fast, and he had his girlfriend in the car too, who had serious injuries,
God.
and then obviously he killed the 23-year-old. I think she was 23, and her dog.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
It's like,
Now he can face up to 40 years in prison if he gets the max on all of them.
because the Vegas law or Nevada law.
Well, they added some new ones on. I can't remember exactly which ones because initially it was 20. Now there's some new ones added on. If you get the max, it's up to 40.
God.
So he had loaded gun. And then there was another cornerback on the Raiders who got dismissed because he was giving, like, yelling out death threats on the strip or something like that. And he was like showing off his guns while doing it. So,
God.
and then obviously Gruden. So the Raiders are just,
So my question to you then becomes: do you feel like this is more of the Vegas atmosphere that's created these problems?
absolutely.
Or do you feel like that these people are just inherently like that? Because
No.
think about it like this: Henry Ruggs, young up and coming star in the league. You have a ton of money, nice car, nice girl, nice house. You have all that stuff, and you're in Sin City itself, where you're going to be drinking probably daily because you're probably going out and he's a young kid. So it's like,
You gonna tell me, like, Alvin Kamara could have done that,
Oh,
going
he could've.
straight to Louisiana in New Orleans, one of the places with one of the worst gun violences and everything, right there in Baton Rouge and he could have done it, but he didn't.
but you got to also think about it like this. Everybody who's I've ever known who's gone to New Orleans, the only thing there is to do in New Orleans is Bourbon Street and then go to like the haunted places that believe in voodoo and all that stuff.
Yeah, but Bourbon Street's all you need.
Yeah.
You got
But
everything there.
would you put Bourbon Street on the same level as the Vegas Strip?
No, because that's an entire city instead of just one road. There's something different about Vegas, though. There's a reason it's called Sin City.
Yes.
Because the worst things happen there. So him being there at a young age, he's fresh, like 21. He's able to go into the casinos. He's able to do this and that. So I think it was the wrong move for the Raiders to move to Vegas as a whole, because everything has just gone downhill since they've gone there.
Well, I wouldn't say it was the wrong move. I feel like it was the perfect move just because that's who the Raiders are. The Raiders are known as that grimy franchise, that organization that has that, because they had Al Davis. Al Davis wasn't going for anybody's crap.
Yeah.
And now the son is taking over as the owner of the team. You hide like the whole like the fans, Raider Nation, all that stuff. Like they're grimy. Like they don't give a crap. They do what they want to do.
That's true.
So they really embody that pirate mentality.
I want to know how close that defensive back was to Ruggs, because he was like the 19th pick in 2020, the one that was showing off guns and stuff. So I wonder, like, if it's a whole team thing that's going on,
Right.
or if it's just like a small group of people within the Raiders, like their own little clique.
That's a great question, but it makes you also think, why, if you want to go with the fact that you think it's the city itself, why are we not hearing anything about the Vegas Knights? Why are they doing so well as a franchise?
It's hockey. Nobody gives a crap.
Yeah, it's different sport, different environment, different people in the sport.
I mean, the few hockey players that I've ever known, they don't go out. Like, their bodies are the most sore out of everyone because they're taking hits
Yes.
on ice.
And you're moving at high speed.
Yes, and you're moving at high speed and you're missing teeth. Like, your mouth is hurting, your back is hurting, your wrists are hurting, your ankles because you're on razor thin blades.
Yes.
And you fall to the ground, you get slammed against the boards. Like, I know football players are getting hit hard and everything, obviously, but football players have that mindset of being told they're great because that's the sport in the U.S. that everybody loves. Hockey players is like, okay, you're a good hockey player.
Yeah.
Like, they're not getting pumped up like football players are. So football players want to go out and flash that money that they're making, where hockey players aren't making NFL money. They don't have the status and stature.
No.
So I think that's the biggest difference is football being idolized in our minds, where
Right.
hockey's like the third favorite, let's go fourth favorite sport.
Warriors, I'd put it at third.
I'm
I'd rather
gonna
to a
go.
hockey game before I go
I'm
to a
gonna go
football game.
football, basketball, baseball, and then hockey's gonna be
Have you
four.
been to a hockey game before?
Yeah, it's Knoxville. We got the Ice Bears.
Have you been to an actual hot legit?
Not an NHL game,
Yes.
but like the Ice Bears, they can get pretty. There was one dude that whenever they were called the Knoxville Stars,
Yeah.
they used to send him out just to fight, and the crowd would go crazy because he would immediately find the closest person, hit him, and punch him in the face. It was great.
Golly. Now imagine that maximized times 20 when these guys are making better money and competing for a better championship, being the what is it, the Grades Cup or something like that, or the no
Stanley Cup.
Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, cause I know some friends, they've been to a couple of Predator games when Subban was there, and they said those games they were so lit because everybody in the stands is drunk. Like,
Yeah.
listen,
Hockey fans will have the most loyal fans.
Yes. And you're like this close to people.
Yeah.
It's like one big mosh pitch. One big mosh pitch. Mosh
Pit? Mosh
pit.
pit?
There we go.
Yeah.
We went to college. Mosh pit. All right. Looking at a bunch of guys fight and hit a puck.
That's true.
They say it's an atmosphere to be a part of.
I mean, I definitely want to go to an NHL game one day, but this is the closest that we can.
Yeah.
Like, it's like downtown. Honestly, like the worst part of downtown. But hey, whatever.
Yeah.
You gotta sacrifice. But it's just different. Football and hockey's different.
I agree, but I guess I feel sorry for the victims, and with Henry Ruggs, I mean, it's sad to see somebody just throw away the career like that. He's not getting away with this.
No.
I think maybe Lucas said at least he could probably get like his 3 years because
If he takes the minimums and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and like good behavior, all that,
but it's like
he's going to jail.
yeah,
There's
he's
no
going to
doubt
jail
about
for
it.
sure. But the fact that they're already trying to include the having the gun in the car, even though the gun in the car is not really a big deal, but I mean, with you being
It's Vegas. so-
yeah, in Vegas, and you're a black male, and you killed a white girl, and you have a gun in the car. Things are not looking good.
I mean, it would have been a suspect situation in the first place, let's be
Yeah.
honest, because of the way that the culture is nowadays.
yeah,
But I don't care if you're white, black, purple, red, whatever. If you're going
most
156
definitely.
miles an hour and you kill anybody,
yeah.
like,
And you're
it's happening.
intoxicated.
It's happening. And you got a loaded gun in Vegas where it's strictly prohibited. No, I don't care who it is.
No. And just like the thing is like you have money, you have the NFL, you have Uber, you have Lyft. There's so much you could have done to avoid this situation. Like I get it. You wanna stun on somebody because you done pulled up to the club and you're all drunk and now you're walking out the club or you're walking out the casino and you want everybody to see you get in your sexy new car. Like I get it, but at the same time, it's like, is it honestly worth impressing random people who are gonna see you play on Sunday anyways, compared to you being safe and hopping in a Kia, or not even that, because with Uber and Lyft, you can get an Escalade
Yeah.
to take you home. Like when I went to Miami with my girlfriend and his friend, did a little couple trip back in the summer. We weren't even like leaving the club. We were like leaving like downtown Miami, and we got like we just pressed the first option, and it was an Escalade.
Yeah.
So it's like, and God,
There's some people they like actually in Vegas. There's a guy that used to do videos and he Ubered in a Lambo. Obviously Lambos are way cooler than like brand new Corvettes. We've seen those around town.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a Lambo in a long time.
Yeah, same here.
Like
so it's just like I just don't get it, man. But I guess speaking of the AFC West, what's up with Mahomes?
Mahomes?
Yeah, he hasn't been looking all that hot.
I think there's mental struggles going on with Mahomes.
Do you think it has to do with his family, or do you
Yes.
think that is more the league has caught up to him? Because Mahomes is on record of saying, "My first couple years in the league," and I quote, "My first couple years in the league, I wasn't reading the defense. I was just playing football. I was taking the ball, going, and then just looking for open guys. Just that's what he was doing. He was just being a gamer out there."
Yeah.
So now, with it being his third or fourth year in the league,
Mm-hmm.
fourth year in the league. I'll take fourth. His fourth year in the league, he's going through. He's
He's
going
doing
through that.
progression.
Yeah, that progression. He's actually doing more. So, do you think it's just more of he's not looking bad, but he's actually progressing in his quarterbacking career
Yeah.
compared to us seeing him hike the ball and just look for a wide open guy and just boom it up?
I think he's actually doing what he's supposed to now, which is trying to become Peyton Manning. Because if he starts to do it now, if you start reading the defense now, when your legs start to go and you're slower and you're older, that's what's going to keep you an elite quarterback. Tom Brady can't run worth a dang,
No.
and
No.
but he knows how to read a defense.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning could not run, but he knew how to read a
No.
defense. And so that's what Michael Vick had to do later in his career too.
Phenomenal, like the Eagles.
And he, even though he still had a little bit of wheels, he had to learn to read defenses also. He had plenty of time to do that in jail.
Yeah,
But
he definitely did. That's another story.
so Mahomes, I think, is trying to do something now, but I also think it's a family thing too, because he's getting backlash all the time because of his stupid brother,
Yeah.
like dancing on a dead guy's,
Yeah.
like come on, you don't do that. And then
Pouring a drink on a fan at the Ravens game. The Ravens
Yeah.
fans were literally shouting, "Overrated!" Dun, 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 dun. Like that's what you get at a sports game, and you're gonna call yourself getting mad and dumping a whole drink on them.
yeah, and there's one video out there with his brother because his brother's trying to be a dance star who's the
His-
worst dancer I've ever
His
seen.
TikToks are terrible.
They're terrible. But they were like out to eat with Patrick and Patrick's wife, and they were like his wife and his brother were doing the dance.
Yeah.
And he just looks over, is like, can we not just like do nothing? Like
God.
why is there, like, he didn't say it, but you could see it in his
Yeah.
face that he was like,
God,
I'm
I gotta
tired of
see
this.
these videos.
like, you can tell he's just over it. I don't think he likes being the face of things anymore, because even in that TikTok, he was like, you could tell he didn't want to be on the camera. Like he's
Right.
tired of being the guy.
I can see that. I also see. I agree with every point you made. I feel like it's for sure he's just going through that maturation process as a quarterback that we're all trying to get used to seeing. And it's not as flashy as it used to be, but it's gonna get flashier like an Aaron Rodgers due to the fact that he's learning the ins and outs of the game now compared
Yeah.
to just being a baller on the field. But I also agree that it's his family stuff because
Yeah.
that stuff like legit weighs on you. Like, I don't think I would have a problem with my siblings wanting to make a name off of themselves because of me. I don't have a problem
No.
with that. Just because I'm so close to my siblings, and I know Mahomes is close with his sibling as well as his wife. Because I think his wife is actually doing some crap too,
Yeah.
being like super annoying and like causing some drama for him.
Yeah.
But I think it just comes down to like when you're out in public and you're trying to eat and your siblings are doing all that unnecessary stuff. Like it's just like because I get annoyed with my siblings all the time.
Yeah.
But with the face of a franchise and it's like you're worth $500 million. You're part owner of the local baseball team and not even like I guess like a small baseball team. Like this is a good team. The
Yeah.
Kansas City Royals are good. They won the championship a couple years ago.
Yeah.
They're a good franchise.
Everybody knows the Royals.
Yes, everybody knows the Royals. You see plenty of people who don't even know baseball rocking Royal jerseys.
Yeah.
So it's just like you have this guy he has a lot on his plate and y'all just doing stupid stuff. It's just like
Like he just needs a break every now
Yeah.
and then. And like there's a difference between letting your family do things off of you, but after that family member's been established, then it's just beating a dead horse.
Right.
Like you're just like if you decline, oh, let me just throw Patrick's face in there real quick.
literally.
And he doesn't even know about it. And then he looks at the camera, he's like, seriously again? Dude was just trying to eat chips and salsa. That's all he was trying to
Poor
do.
guy.
And then he looks over, he's like, seriously?
It's like that's why everybody watches the video. They want to see if Mahomes is going to be in any of the videos.
Yeah.
And I don't think Mahomes is dumb enough to want to be in any of the videos. He has way too much going on in his life. Especially doing those hilarious commercials, State Farm. I honestly thought he worked at the shoe place.
Well, the Chiefs might get OBJ too. That's another news coming
But
out.
how is he going to fit in with the team, though? Because
I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
I'm just saying he could be.
He could also go to the Rams because, according to, I think Lucas was the one who told me this. But since the Browns cut him instead of trying to trade him, the Browns are still paying OBJ. So if somebody wants to pick him up, I think it would be like $9 million.
7.25.
$7.25 million. And you're telling me the Rams can't afford.
But I think that was on waivers. Now he can go to anybody. Before on waivers, like they had to go through the process. But now that he's now here, he can make his own decision, not just whoever decides to pick him up. I don't know exactly, but I know at one point it's $7.25 million.
So now it's like he can request however much money he wants.
Yeah, and that's where the Packers already made him an offer, but it was league minimum for veteran status, and he don't want that.
Obviously.
And so that's where the Patriots and the Saints are really picking up, because apparently, like, the Patriots really want him, which is very surprising.
It'd be pointless to go.
Exactly. And then the Saints, I could see him fitting in with the Saints, actually.
Who's the quarterback? Pointless as well.
I mean, but he's from LSU. OBJ went to LSU, so he would have the fan base to rally around. He knows the atmosphere down there. He would have Kamara, so it'd actually give a deep, like with Michael Thomas being injured, think about whenever Michael Thomas finally comes back with him on one side, OBJ on another.
And what about the merch of Callaway? Callaway's really come onto the scene.
Callaway as well. So you would have almost the same depth at wide receiver as the Cowboys do.
Yeah.
With Gallup coming back this week, you've got CeeDee Lamb, you've got who is that? Cooper. So you're gonna have some crazy threats.
But who's the quarterback? And then it's like
they'll have to draft one or something.
Because it's like even after, so say they sign Deli to like a 2-3 year deal worth a lot of money. All right, and
Simeon didn't look bad.
All right, well they're not going to the Super Bowl with Simeon. Let's get that straight.
Taysom Hill, he wants to run first.
All right then.
Winston.
All right then. don't even mention that guy. Don't even mention that guy.
Jameis Crab Legs.
Yeah. We're gonna only say the crab legs.
Yeah.
So
he doesn't have to do that there. He just walks up to a guy, hey, you want some crab legs?
Their only option is to get Rodgers, whose contract ends after the season. So, but would he rather go there, or is Rodgers shifting gears a little bit? I don't know. Let me just pause by saying I feel like the best bet is the Rams. If he wants to win a Super Bowl, the Rams are it. He won't make a lot of money with them paying him, but he would make a ton of money in endorsements as well as the Rams don't have that. They don't have a star.
No,
Deli is a star, unless you want to say Aaron Donald. But Aaron Donald, he's not a star. He's a come on now. He's a defensive player. Deli is a star. So
yeah,
I feel like that'd be the smartest move. You get that championship. You'll get a ton of money in endorsements. If you just want that ring for one season and to rebrand yourself, go there and then leave after the season just to go wherever you want and have some team overpay for you.
That's how I feel about the Cardinals and him. Like, I think the Cardinals could really use him because Hopkins gets hurt every 3 weeks.
And they also have AJ Green, who also gets injured. And OBJ is also injury prone. Yeah.
I didn't say it would be good. But
be the injured bunch.
Yeah. But, like, Larry Fitz left a legacy there. And Hopkins is the one trying to fill in with that. So OBJ would have more opportunities rather than 1 to 2 looks a game.
Right.
So,
but I like the move to Arizona after he goes to LA. Just because of the fact that he needs to rebrand himself. Everybody feels like he fell off. LA is the only city he can do it in because he can't do it in Gotham. They don't have a quarterback. Neither one of the teams have a quarterback.
True.
So either LA team is fine with me. The only thing is he'd be going, if he wants to win a Super Bowl, he'd go to the Rams. But
what about Baltimore?
I don't like him in Baltimore.
Why?
He can't rebrand himself there. I feel like
it would take a lot of pressure off of him because Lamar Jackson.
But it's like I feel like Deli is such he's a media guy. He wants the attention. He wants all lights.
The Dolphins then.
All stars on him. All right, who's the quarterback?
Tua.
All right then. So it's like
if Waddle can get almost 100 yards a game, OBJ can.
There's no quarterback. He's not.
Exactly. There's no quarterback, and he still gets 100 yards a game.
I just don't. The biggest reason why I don't like it is I don't like it because he can't rebrand himself in Baltimore, as well as I don't like Lamar Jackson as a quarterback just yet. He's still growing on me.
Does he care to rebrand himself though?
Yes, he does. Everybody, when you're going from being Mr. Cocky, Mr. Worldwide, OBJ, you're only known for one thing, the catch, and that was 2016.
His first year.
It's 2021, and they still know you from one thing. Get out of here. You know for a fact everybody probably has been in his ear multiple times saying you're washed up. Everybody only knows you from that catch. True. He's obviously looking to rebrand himself. as like that guy. Because if you look at the top receivers in the league,
That's a Giants thing, though. To be honest,
Oh, I agree.
there's always that one catch.
I agree.
Like David Tyree,
Yep.
you only know him from one catch.
Yep.
You know Victor Cruz from a couple of catches.
Yeah.
To be fair, and the salsa.
Yep.
That's it. Like you know Plaxico Burress from a corner route beating the Patriots.
And he shot himself.
Yeah.
But and honestly, where are you putting Jelly in the top 10 receiver list? Where you putting?
No, he's not in the top 10.
All right, then.
No.
That's
He's
all
top
right.
20, but he is not in my opinion, he's not an elite wide receiver. He is an electrifying receiver who makes big plays when they need it, but he's not elite because he's not known, at least in my opinion from what I've seen from him, he's not known for getting the yak yards, the run after catch. He catches it and he gets tackled, but he makes some spectacular catches. Any wide receiver you give him a chance, they're going to make a spectacular catch every now and then. So he's an average wide receiver to me that makes big plays.
I agree. I wouldn't say I agree. I feel like it's just more of it was never the right fit. I said it from the beginning. He should have never gone to that team. I didn't like it. I didn't like him when he was on the field with Payfield. It was like, and you're on a team that run first, and you're a stud receiver. Come on now, man. So it's like I'd say talent wise, he's top 10. Production wise, no.
He has a lot of talent to utilize.
Yeah.
But I think he gets in his own way because he is wanting to use that on every single play instead of just play ball. He wants to make that spectacular play. And like you said, with Baker, it was a bad situation.
Yeah.
Baker could not get in sync with him whatsoever.
No.
I don't think that they wanted to get in sync with each other. Like, I don't think they liked being near each other, in my opinion. And whenever he would throw him, it was always an overthrow.
Yeah.
Or Baker only reads two guys and doesn't go past the second receiver. It's either one or two, and that's all Baker's doing. He's not going 3-4 where Dale was.
Right. But that also has to do with the offense. Usually that when it's two guys is open because everybody thinks they're going to hand off the ball. So that play action kills them.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess I would only like Miami if Deshaun Watson would have went there. What do you think about that deal falling through?
I don't care. like I don't. I'm not like I don't want to say I'm a Deshaun Watson hater, but I'm tired of Deshaun Watson. I'm tired of hearing about it. Like, put him in jail or let him go. Like at this point, because it's so dragged out.
Yeah.
It's so dragged out,
Yeah.
and so I'm mentally exhausted from that. I can't anymore. So, I don't care.
You
How do you feel about it?
I guess my thing is, I didn't like them not taking the deal at first. Just because the fact I was like, it's Deshaun Watson. You can't pass up on Deshaun Watson. He's the only guy that came out that draft that I thought you could put on any team. He would have done the exact same thing. I just feel like after I got to thinking about it more, it was the right move because they were asking for way too much. As well as you don't even know if he's gonna play this year. Like he can play, but who's to say y'all don't make it all the way to the Super Bowl and all of a sudden the cops come?
Yeah.
And
Or he gets off the plane and they're right there with handcuffs.
All right then. So it's like so much could go down. It's like Deshaun Watson not even most likely he would have took them to the playoffs, and they probably could have made a deep playoff run, especially in the AFC where Mahomes is not looking all that. I'm still on the fence about Lamar Jackson. Payfield has been slacking a lot this season.
You know how fun it would be, though, if he didn't want to be on a contender team, on like a rebuilding team? It'd be kind of fun to watch him go to the Jags.
The Jags?
That'd be fun. That would be a lot of fun, though, because you got Marvin Jones Jr. He's all right. He's all right.
All right.
He's bottom, like, top 50 wide receiver. And then you got Chenault Jr. Come on. So,
Biscuit Chenault.
like, that could be fun.
You think that would be more fun than watching him play in Gotham with the Jets?
That would be equally fun.
With that New York media all over every move he makes.
What about the Bills? You got Stephon Diggs, Cole Beasley, and then you add in OBJ. They need something to get their offense going. The past 2 weeks, the Bills have been terrible, and they lost to the Jags.
Well, they have Emmanuel Sanders, though, as well. That receiver class is pretty deep. That receiver group is pretty deep.
Bro, he got me 0 points.
Yep, that happened to me as well, but not with him.
I know. And whenever you dropped him, I was like, oh, man, I'm getting such a steal right now.
Yeah, deadbeat.
I was like, oh, you're going against the... Yeah. 0 points in fantasy. I've never seen that. Like, give me negative or give me 1. Like, that pissed me off so bad.
Oh, well, that's nothing.
But no worse than losing by 1 point last week.
Listen, that's nothing. I also lost that same week, and all I needed was 5 points. The guy, you can clearly see the receiver. You can see him out there. All right, he was clearly out there wearing jersey, wearing a helmet, wearing pads. All right, he was lined up out there as the outside guy, never touched the ball. Didn't get a single look at. I was confused on what was happening. He was open a couple of plays. Didn't get a single point. I got 0 from him and lost.
On the last drive for the Titans against the Rams, I have Henderson, the running back. The last drive for the Titans before the Rams got it, an entire football field length almost, by the way. I'm going to add that in a minute. I'm winning. And then A.J. Brown gets one 16-yard reception, and he goes up a point. I'm like, all right, bet. We got one more drive left.
Yes.
Sony Michel was in the entire time. Henderson never made it out there the entire drive. And Sony Michel got so many rushing yards. I'm like, okay, obviously he needs a break. Send Henderson in. Nope.
Nope.
And I watched me lose
Yes.
for an entire 5-minute drive.
Yes. That's so funny. You gotta love fantasy.
No, I don't. I hate it. I'm in third to last.
I'm in the 8th, and I was number 1 at like the for 4 weeks straight
Yeah.
because guys have been getting injured, and I have to pick up randos. Like the last 3-4 games I lost were all close. This one I lost by 20, but a defense got them 20 points. The Patriots defense got them 20 points because the Panthers suck.
The Panthers are terrible.
What-
No. Sam Darnold sucks.
What is he doing out there?
I think he was reliving, I think he had PTSD of whenever he was at the Jets, having to face them a lot. Yeah.
Bobby Anderson.
You know, I'm undefeated against the Parks brothers, though.
Looks that way.
My only wins are you and your brother.
You should have lost to me, dude.
Yeah, but I didn't. So
what?
I ended your win
Yes,
streak.
you did. You were literally getting bottom of the 10 points. Oh my god.
Yeah, you were my first win,
And I was blowing
and
people
your
out
brother
left
and
and
Gordon
right.
was my second. So I'm undefeated against the Parks brothers, and we're facing each other in fantasy basketball this week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Who's winning that though?
I am.
Are you really?
I really am.
You want to check again?
Heck yeah, I do.
Yeah, go ahead. And read off exactly what the points say.
All right, bet.
This guy right here. So what does it say?
Beantown Clovers, me,
All right.
376.
Okay.
The Streets, that's it, 338.
No, I don't think. That
Yeah.
What? How
Yeah.
is that possible?
Oh, yeah. First day, you were beating me bad. Second day, I came back. Every single one of my players got 50 points.
Well, you want to know what's crazy? All right. Let's look at the. Let's look at who's all playing this round.
Well, let's look at our records. How about that?
We're not worried about that.
Yeah, well, I'm very worried about that. Who's undefeated? Who's defeated?
That's gonna get fixed. All right. You know why?
Not against me.
Listen. Westbrook plays tonight. Buddy Hill plays tonight. R.J. Barrett plays tonight. Rodney Covington. Montrezl Harrell, who's playing right now.
Got 0 points. Cool.
The game just started.
Yeah.
D Bookie, the bookkeeper himself, is playing tonight. Basically, everybody is playing except for one guy.
I've got negative 1 point right now. So
All right.
technically, you are up 1 point today.
It's over with, bro.
I've got everybody going except for one guy, same as you.
Oh.
Oh.
Anyways.
Yeah. So back to football news.
On the topic of athletes.
But one of the last things I do definitely want to talk about is Duke basketball. Coach K, this is his last season.
You think they're gonna win it for Coach K?
They beat North Carolina last night at Madison Square Garden in his last game at Madison Square Garden. Duke is number 6. North Carolina was number 9, and they won. Duke, I think, is going to be a heavy favorite.
I can see it. I mean,
Like, they're going to win it for Coach K. If they don't, then they might as well. I'm not going to say that, but
I think they'll win it just because we saw the Lakers win it for Kobe last year.
2 years.
2 years?
Last year was the Bucks.
Yeah. The season
They won the
25.
COVID year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they won it for Kobe, and they'll win it this year because the team has Westbrook. And Lou Brick is injured right now.
I think they won't win it because they have Westbrook.
Disrespectful. Who's gonna Who's gonna win it? Who?
The Bucks are obviously a heavy favorite again, but I think Miami's going to make a run again.
Who's the star player?
Butler.
Don't even say Butler.
Butler.
Is Butler good enough to beat Giannis? Are you putting Butler in your top 5 best players in the league? Top 10? No, you're not. You know who is in that top 10? Russell Westbrook.
I'm going to put Butler as one of the best defensive players in the league.
So is Klay Thompson.
Yeah, but Klay Thompson's like hurt right now.
He's definitely injured.
So Butler's never really been injured in his career, so he's at least consistent. And he can get blocks and steals and stuff like
But
that.
you're acting like Bowery and the Nets aren't going to do anything.
Honestly, Golden State's back to like elite.
Yeah, they
again.
don't lost one game.
Yeah, they're good right now. And Utah, the Jazz are undefeated at home. The only team to be undefeated at home.
Yeah, but the Jazz makes noise every year. Everybody's like, "Oh, the Jazz is so good. They'll get like a first and second round seed and then do nothing."
That's because they don't build. Like, that's the problem. They have Donovan Mitchell, and they're like, we're good.
Well,
We got Joe Ingles.
and Rudy Gobert too, right? Or
Is he the Nuggets or the Jazz? I think they got Rudy.
I'm pretty sure.
Why
Rudy
you do this
Gobert-
to my brain?
I'm pretty sure they do have Rudy Gobert.
Rudy Gobert. I'm so mad.
Yeah, the Utah Jazz.
Okay, yeah. I'm so mad. Like, I dropped Rudy Gobert because I was like, okay, nobody's following like this at all right now. And then the night that I dropped him, somebody picks him up. I'm like, I was just trying to make space to get somebody that was actually playing that night.
You freaking idiot. Yeah, it's a pretty good team. I don't think they'll make noise though. I still believe in Westbrook. And whenever,
Obviously, the Nets are gonna be
but
talked about.
James Harden's looking terrible this year. Like,
I mean, he's been looking terrible for a couple of years now.
yeah, like he's just playing so sluggish. Like he looks like he doesn't want to be out there anymore.
I don't think he does. He's been talking to Kyrie too much. That's the problem.
Yeah,
it's the Kyrie mentality. It's like, I don't want to be here. I'm sick.
Yeah. I'm sick. Oh my gosh! Like poor Katie. You go to New York, you put your own super team, and the two superstars who are around you, superheroes, don't want to show up.
Do you think it's because there is too much power?
I don't
Like there's a lot of superstars, or maybe one-time like Blake Griffin used to be a huge
Yeah, he did.
superstar, and then Harden, and then you got kind of Kyrie.
He's a show. He's spectacular.
Yeah, when he wants to be.
Yeah, who knows when that'll be though?
Exactly. And then you bring in extra talent of people who used to be the big guys on their team. So there is such thing as having too much.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say I wouldn't use that as a reason for why these guys aren't looking all of that. I feel like they're looking right around the way they should. I don't know what their record is, but it's just I feel like it's too early to really predict how things are gonna go.
It's way too early.
That's
But not for the Golden State Warriors. They're always good.
9-1.
Yeah, and they have the best winning record of all time too. So who's to say that they're not going to do it again?
Yeah, it's always something to think about. Just like college football, that's another thing to think about. We're looking at a lot of teams in that top 10 haven't really been there before. What do you make of Cincinnati still being number 2 for some reason?
I honestly think it's a slap in the face for them to be number 5 in the college football playoff.
Aren't they in Conference USA or something?
It's inevitable that they're going to lose, like, honestly. But at the same time, I feel bad that people are leaving them out whenever, like, they're thinking Notre Dame is going to be better than them. And they beat Notre Dame.
Notre Dame also should have lost to a ton of teams.
A whole lot. And I'm pissed that they're actually getting better
Yes.
when they should have had 4 losses. But Oklahoma should have had like 4 losses too.
Yes.
And
They didn't have the number 1 draft pick at quarterback anymore.
that's funny.
Your favorite. You love him.
I'm okay with Oklahoma looking good with Caleb Williams instead of Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, but they're not looking like flashy. Like, they're just winning games.
They're just winning games against people who don't have a defense.
Yeah, but they're not like when Payfield or Murray were there, where they were even Jalen Hurts to a lesser extent, where they were just lighting people up. Like, they're just winning games.
The next one for Cincinnati, South Florida.
All right.
Yeah, intense record of 2-7.
Wait, isn't it Strong the coach?
Ooh, Charlie.
Charlie Strong.
Strong.
Isn't he,
USF?
Yeah, or did he get fired already?
I think he got fired, but I really don't know. There's a kid from my high school. He is playing for USF, and he's I think he's a tight end because he was a wide receiver, and then he got switched to tight end because he was so big.
Yeah.
But at Greenback, it was. I mean, you're going to be a wide receiver.
Yeah, obviously.
I think he's starting now too.
Think he's going to make any noise?
I hope so. The kid, he has like the most. I think in like single A receiving yards like in Tennessee history or something. He got Mr. Football. I know that for a single A. Like he was on the brink of being like Gatorade player too. But Thursday night, tomorrow night, we got North Carolina and Pitt. So I'm gonna go North Carolina.
All right.
Then Cincy and South Florida.
I'm gonna go with South Florida.
I'm going with Cincy just because.
But if you look at the games that Cincy have played, they've been struggling lately.
They have been struggling lately.
They almost lost last week.
I think they're just starting to feel the pressure of needing to show out.
Yeah.
And then they don't. So they're trying to prove themselves because they're right there at number 5.
Yeah.
Alabama should not be number 2. They lost to Mississippi State, who...
No, Alabama lost to A&M.
A&M, sorry. They lost to A&M, who lost to Mississippi State. A&M lost to Mississippi State.
Mississippi State's a good team, though.
They just lost to Arkansas.
I mean, Ole Miss. Ole Miss is a good
Ole
team.
Miss. No, and A&M, I think, is a 2 or 3 loss team. I can't remember right now.
Yeah, they're a 2-loss team.
And so Alabama should not be there. They struggle bust for 3 quarters against Tennessee.
Yep, that happened. And if Tennessee would have scored, we would have won the game.
Obviously, Bama's going to beat New Mexico State. You got your boys Michigan against Penn State. I'm going Michigan on that one.
Yeah.
Refs came out recently and said that they blew some calls against
Obviously.
Oklahoma and Baylor. Please, Baylor win.
They're not.
They're not going to, but please. Mississippi State, Auburn. I'm going to go Mississippi State.
I like Auburn.
Northwestern and Wisconsin. I'm going to go Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Utah and Arizona. Arizona's 1-8. They just won their first. They just broke their 20-game Pac-12 losing streak last week.
Who's the coach? Is the coach still
That's Arizona State. That's who you're thinking of. Yeah. But so I'm definitely going Utah. Then we got number 1 Georgia against the Tennessee Volunteers. Georgia.
I don't know. It could be
It's
a
Georgia.
trap game.
It's not a trap game. it's not a trap game.
Think about it like this. Tennessee has always played Georgia close. The last couple of years when Tennessee lost to Georgia, it was the fourth quarter when the game was when Tennessee was like, all right, we're tired. Just go ahead and win.
Georgia has a defense this year.
Yeah, but they have a defense and a run game every year. They have the same thing every single year.
This Georgia team I'm seeing is different. The only thing that is their weak point is quarterback, and he's even doing better.
Yeah, but quarterback makes a huge deal in college football.
Stetson Bennett, the 4th, 3rd? I don't know.
All right, so Stetson Bennett got to step it up, as well as Tennessee. Tennessee's offense Tennessee's been looking good.
It's just because they've gotten a better quarterback. They got Hendon Hooker from Virginia Tech, and this is going to be his only year at Tennessee. So you got to find somebody because Milton's not it.
He's trash.
But it's going to be Georgia. There's no doubt about it in my mind. Tennessee might put up a fight, but it's all revolves around their quarterback run game, I guess you could say. The line has been decimated with injuries almost every game.
Yeah.
Like, because we got Cade and Cooper Mays right beside each other, the brothers from here in Tennessee. And, like, Cooper gets hurt, or is it Cade? I don't know. One of the Mays brothers keeps getting hurt, like, every game and goes out for half a game, and it really screws everything up.
But it's like if you watch the game, though, even when he gets blocked, the guys are getting open. It's just a matter of him missing the targets.
Yeah, there is a lot of misses.
So honestly,
But he can actually throw a deep ball.
not consistently.
Yeah, but he
I've seen him
can.
overthrow it multiple times.
It's inconsistent, but at least it can happen. Milton, there's just
This man boomed it into the end zone for no reason at all. He had a guy wide open. Golly, man. Continue with the list.
Anyway, Purdue, Ohio State.
Ohio State. They got to make up for them losing a couple years ago.
Yep. Minnesota, Iowa. I'm going Minnesota. Iowa has no offense. None.
All right, give me Minnesota. Give me Minnesota as well.
Southern Miss and University of Texas, San Antonio. I'm going San Antonio. They're 9-0. Southern Miss is 1-8.
All right, there you go.
Yep. Maryland and Michigan State.
Michigan State.
Give me State, yeah. Ooh, this might be fun. A&M and Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
11 versus 15.
Ole Miss is a really good team.
Offensively, yes. I'm going A&M, though.
They're not the Land Sharks anymore.
Ole Miss is the Land Sharks.
Not anymore. They've been Land Sharks since for years now.
You're talking Rebels. It was the Ole Miss Rebels, and then they changed to the Land Sharks.
They're still the Rebels.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
They're the Land Sharks.
No, they're not.
They're the Land Sharks.
No,
Ole Miss used to be the Rebels, and then they decided to rebrand, and now they're the Land Sharks.
So the question, did I go to college? Yes.
And?
Did I graduate from college?
And?
Yes.
Did I take a crap today? Yes.
All right, so these are all facts, all right? So why in the world would I believe you that they changed their name to the Land Sharks? I would have remembered a cool name like that.
I didn't know it, and then they kept saying it all over the Ole Miss Tennessee game. They're like, the Land Sharks, because one guy was like, the Rebels, and he was like, nope, sorry, not that anymore, the Land Sharks.
Dude, all right, I'm about to just look this up. It says it right here, Ole Miss Rebels.
Yeah, you can look up anything to make your opinion. Watch this.
This guy, oh my gosh.
Ole Miss Land Shark. Like, I can do that too.
Dude, that's their defense. All right. Their defense is called the Land Sharks, but the team itself is called the Rebels.
Okay, this one has both of it on it, so that's even more confusing. A shirt that literally says Ole Miss Rebels Land Sharks. Like, I give up.
All right, man. I would remember.
Anyways, Notre Dame, Virginia.
All right. Virginia, because I hate Notre Dame as well. Never read it every year.
NC State and Wake. I'm going to go Wake. They lost a game they shouldn't have last week.
All right. Give me Wake Forest as well.
Arkansas and LSU.
LSU.
I'm on LSU, yeah, because it's at LSU
Even
at night.
Arkansas's actually dropped like 2-3 games now, haven't they?
They're 6-3.
Yeah.
But it's at LSU at night.
Yeah.
I'm going LSU.
And especially with them having a close game with Alabama last week.
Yeah. TCU and Oklahoma State. Okay, State. Washington State and Oregon. Give me Oregon. They're number 3. Very surprising. In the college football playoff.
Yeah.
Nevada and San Diego State.
San Diego State's ranked number 22 and they're 8-1.
They are. And Nevada's 7-2. You want to know how people know if you're on the East Coast compared to the West Coast? Because of the way that you say Nevada.
Is it not Nevada?
If you're on the West Coast, it's Nevada. Nevada.
No.
That's that, and I've heard that so many times. People was like, "Are you calling from the East Coast?" I'm like, "Yeah, why?" The way you said Nevada,
Okay.
like bias. All right, cool, whatever.
Something new every day. Yeah, go ahead and give me San Diego State because they've been blowing out teams left and right. 28, 38, 33.
Yeah, they're doing good, actually.
30, yeah.
All right, so that's all the top 25 teams that are playing this week.
Jeez. Got a lot of pretty interesting matchups going on out there.
There can be some trap games hanging out.
I still think that Georgia-Tennessee game is a potential trap game.
It could be.
So,
It could be.
Before we wrap up for the evening, Mr. Baseball, what do you think about the Braves winning it all?
I'm so happy. Like, for a week there, I was a Braves fan. And then my heart was like, go Red Sox, immediately after they won. And so I'm very happy for the Braves. They hadn't made it to a World Series since 1999. They finally did it. It was nothing like the Cubs over 100 years, obviously. But, you know, Atlanta needed a win. Let's be honest. The city of Atlanta needed a major sport win. And
Yeah.
I'm glad the Braves did it. So, congrats, Braves. I hope you lose against the Red Sox, though.
Does it say? Because I'm not very familiar with baseball, so I'm all about the questions. Does it say more about the Braves as an organization, a franchise, as in they're projecting into the right direction, as they're going to be contenders every single year, or do you feel like it was just more of the competition around them was
They
weak
changed their
enough?
mascot. They changed their mascot.
I thought they were always the Braves. When did they change from being the Braves?
I'm talking about Ole Miss.
Dude,
Sorry.
no, they didn't.
No.
They
It
didn't.
just said that. It just
Oh
said
my
it.
God.
Straight from they changed their mascot, but they didn't change their name.
Can I see a picture of this?
I'll find one.
Yeah. I don't remember any of this. Like they would change their name from the Rebels to the Land Sharks. Land Sharks is cool. Dude, that's just a guy with a shark thing. He's probably like a fan. Or
It was an
like that.
example. And there's the mascot.
I've never seen him on
Like
the
a,
field.
I haven't either, but apparently that's their promo.
So this must be like 2022 stuff. Season.
It's probably like something new coming out.
All right, if this comes out next year, then I'll apologize. But as of
Well, I
right,
don't know. There's somebody in the stands right now.
dude, that's a guy. That's a fan.
That's definitely a fan, obviously. But this is the actual promo that's going to be coming out. So, I mean, Mississippi in general, they changed like even their state flag and everything too.
Did they really?
Because it used to be like a rebel flag.
Yeah.
And so they changed it to like a magnolia.
Did they really?
Yeah. Ole Miss is trying to not be racist.
It's too late for that.
Yeah.
Actually, I saw a video on YouTube, and it says Arkansas is the most racist state.
Oh, absolutely. They got some dang good barbecue, but they are racist.
Yeah, that is. Oh yeah, you're right. They did change it. It's like this ugly. It's ugly.
Yeah.
They really were trying hard.
Yeah.
And
That-
God we trust.
Honestly, that looks like a communist like country
Yeah, no, right.
flag.
That's the colors,
Like
the
take
yellow.
take that flower out and like
Yeah.
that could be like I don't know, like Singapore, like something.
I kind of don't like it at all. I was fine with the rebel
But it's
flag
all-
to be a million percent with you.
I'm not fine with rebel flags.
Listen-
Like I'm just not like
Are you're a Southerner though.
I am a Southerner, and that thing does not mean Southern pride anymore.
I don't think. The thing is with the rebel flag for me is I know some people who aren't racist who have the rebel flag, and then there's obviously the good old boys, But it's just like I don't know. It's like it's just one of those things where when you think about the South, you think of trucks, you think of country music, you think of whiskey, you think of the rebel flag, you think of blue jeans, you think of football.
The rebel flag has become such a negative connotation, though.
It has for sure.
And it has no place in government for me. Like, if you want to be an individual having
Right.
it, go ahead, but I'm going to call you a racist. I'm
Yep.
sorry. I will. Like, I'm going to be like,
Racist.
yep,
Obviously a racist.
whatever you mean by going back to the good old days, I know what you mean. So, like, I will never not associate it with that now. And people don't understand that.
I get that.
And I just don't know how people can stand behind it so aggressively.
Oh, for sure.
Whenever they know that it's like, and that was the whole thing with Dr. Seuss and that whole thing.
What do you mean with Dr. Seuss?
Let me connect real quick. I got way too excited. Okay, yeah, got way too excited. Phone dropped out. Stopped the whole thing. So, like the whole Dr. Seuss in the book issue where they took, they stopped producing some of the books.
Was one of the Starbucks niches? That was racist as well.
Well, I can't remember which ones exactly, but it was because like it would say like the N word or
Golly.
something, and so there were some things also behind it like that, just blatantly racist, and they decided to stop producing those books, and people lost their minds. And Dr. Seuss is supposed to be like a sign of hope,
Yeah.
a sign of getting through things, and so in my mind, Dr. Seuss, he would have wanted to change these things because if it hurt one person, that's more than he wanted to ever hurt. So why wouldn't you? Like, if that rebel flag hurts one person, then why keep making it?
I agree with you, with that sentiment, but at the same time, like I feel like that's one of those things you got to really take with a grain of salt, just because of the fact that it's like, well, by that logic, you can say it towards anything. Like there could be a woman out there who's offended. There could be a trans woman out there who's offended by guys with beards because she can't grow one, and all of a sudden, well, since it hurts this one person, every guy out there with a beard has to shave it. It goes back to like the whole Chappelle thing because Chappelle, he was in some media controversy. I don't think it was a big deal, but he was like he understands why J.K. Rowling was upset at trans women. I don't have anything against it personally. I'm just quoting it. But Chappelle was like he gets why she was upset because of the fact that it's almost the equivalent of a white person doing blackface because you have somebody imitating you.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like I wouldn't say that trans people are imitating women because like this is who they are inside. But I guess I like that. That's where he was coming at it from that perspective. Even though he's like cool with the community, he was like, I understand why she's looking at it from that way. But to get back to that, everybody wants to cancel Chappelle because of what he said about it. But now it's like it just for all the if you continue to cancel stuff because you hurt one person, now you're falling in line with that quote unquote cancel culture. And I feel like the flag, I don't feel like the flag is racist just because a flag can't be racist. That just sounds dumb.
Mm-hmm.
The people who hold the flag, I feel like anybody can make a strong case for those people being racist without hesitation.
Yeah.
Like you can make a strong case for it, but there's a handful of people out there who don't see it as racist. So it's just like they just see it as like it's a Southern thing, but the Southern thing behind it is racism. So it's just
Yeah. It's the symbolism of it. Like
Right.
people are saying, it's history, it's not hate. But the history of it is hate.
racism.
So
Yes.
that's not your fault. You might not see it that way,
Right.
but others do. And take this with a grain of salt that I'm about to say. Like, it's the same as telling black people, like, move past slavery. Like,
Oh, for sure.
stop making excuses just because of that. It's the same. It's the equivalent of racist white people to say, put away the flag. It's like, whoa, blah, 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 blah. It's for them. It's the same equivalent.
Oh yeah, I agree with you for sure. But that's like culture. That's like I guess society today. Anyways, like nowadays, everybody sees they want to maximize the level of intensity that a subject is when in reality it's not to that level.
Yeah.
And it's honestly getting out of hand. I feel like at this point, it's like I understand everybody wants to be so PC and so progressive, but at the same time, it's like we got to the point to where it's like if you support Trump, you're racist. Even
True.
though some of the people who supported Trump were racist, and I'm of this mindset today that Trump's not a racist. I just don't think it. Like he could say a ton of racist things behind closed doors, but I feel like 99% of America does that anyways.
True.
Black or white or Hispanic or whatever your ethnicity is, 99% of Americans says racist thing behind closed doors. That's just how people are. So I wouldn't say like I feel like if you're racist, you're going to be proud about that. You're not going to hire these people to work for you, even if it is cheap labor. I mean, yeah, you're a businessman, but if you're truly racist, you're not going to have a Hispanic building these hotels for you, or you're not going to have black people running some of the companies that you orchestrate, or like you're not going to want that.
I think the only reason that he got that label is because there were so many major racist things that happened while he was in
Right.
office that he didn't condemn to not do.
But it's like you can't condemn them if these are the people that are voting for you.
That's the $1 million political damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yep.
Like the people, the good old boys, are the ones voting for you.
Yeah.
So if you keep them happy, you'll be in office. But at the same time, the other half is going to hate you with a burning passion
Yep.
because you're not saying, that's racist. Stop.
Yeah, which was the worst part, and I think he was the first president to ever get not reelected, right? Was he?
No, there's been plenty that haven't been reelected, but the Bucks did go to the White House, and that was the first time in 4 years that any basketball team, like NBA team, has gone to the White House.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so the entire time Trump was there, the last time was 2016, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Golly, if we take that stuff seriously, they're not going for that stuff.
Yeah, no.
It's like it just makes it seem like you support it because you're not stopping it. You know?
Exactly. Like, if you're not stopping it, you're a problem. Like, you got to use your platform sometimes to
Right.
condemn this stuff. And that's what players want to do and all these major athletes want to do while they're speaking out. And people are like, just play your sport. And be like,
Right.
I'm speaking up for the people whose voice doesn't matter
Right.
because mine does.
But with that being said, today's kind of going over long, but it's no biggie. These are important topics. With that being said, what do you think about Colin Kaepernick in his documentary that he came out? He had a documentary coming out. I think it came out, and he equated the NFL draft to slavery, as in you have all these tall, black, strong men getting lined up, getting measured from arm to arm, seeing how fast they are, seeing how strong they are, seeing what all they're good at, and all that stuff. He equates it to slave trade. Because during the slave trade era, they would have the black men line up on the pedestal, or whatever they were, and the white slave owner would be like, I want that one. He's like 6'3", he's like 6'6", he's 5'8", but he's strong as crap. I can see the muscles on him. Let me get that one, and that's what Colin Kaepernick said about. What are your thoughts about that?
I understand where he's coming from, but you're willingly there
Yep.
instead of being forced to be there.
Yep. And he also was a part of it.
And he wanted to be a part of it,
And
to
he
be in the
still-
NFL and make
And
money.
he still wanted to be a part of the NFL, and I don't think he makes this if he's in the NFL now.
Nah, I always thought it was the biggest injustice that he wasn't in the NFL.
He wasn't good anyways, though. That's the thing. He
But-
wasn't even good his last 2-3 years.
Yeah, but
He was
really,
terrible.
how many teams needed a quarterback like Kaepernick who could at least run and make short passes, and yet they passed him up just because he decided to speak out about stuff?
But you can't excuse the fact that he was terrible as soon as John Harbaugh left.
He was terrible as soon as Harbaugh left.
And then he was like, "Oh, now I'm gonna be a vegan and I'm gonna lose weight and nothing wrong with wanting to take care of your body and all that stuff." But it's just like you're in the league, dude.
He took the San Francisco lifestyle
Literally,
hard.
literally, like
He drank the juice.
yeah. I don't, and especially like with Africa, I like the African American, especially with black quarterbacks. How many of those guys do you see get a second chance as being a starter or even a backup in the league?
Not a lot.
Yeah, like
Robert Griffin III never had another chance
exactly
after he got hurt.
Well, he got hurt and then he was starting for Cleveland, and then they're like, "You're done."
Yeah,
But you see somebody like Sam Bradford who bounced from team to team being the starting quarterback.
he was so terrible.
He got a ton of accuracy.
Sanchez.
Sanchez with really? I thought he just played with the Jets.
Oh no, he had a butt fumble. That's all I remember. That's all anybody remembers.
Yeah, but it's like you look at these like Sam Darnold's getting a second chance. He's making the most of his opportunities somewhat.
He shouldn't have got it.
But this is like honestly, like you don't see a lot of black quarterbacks getting that second chance to be a starting quarterback or even
You're
a
right.
backup in the league. Like once they have that stint, it's like it just looks like if you're not a starting quarterback in the league as a black quarterback, you're not in the league. The only black quarterback that's a backup I can think of is Johnson from the Jets.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, RG3's now an analyst. He's not
Yep.
even in football anymore.
All right then.
Trey Lance.
Trey Lance is a rookie. And the other guy is a backup for Russell Wilson, Geno Smith, who sucks.
Yeah.
So out of 32 teams, we can only name 3 guys who are backup quarterbacks and
Who's the
rookie.
backup for Tua?
Jacoby Brissett.
Jacoby Brissett.
So 3.
And who's the backup for Bridgewater?
Lame guy, Drew Lock.
White. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I can't even think of. Do we even know who Derek Carr's backup is?
No.
I don't either.
I don't think it's a black guy though.
There's a black kicker in the league though.
Yeah, I saw that. We had a black punter in the league as well.
King.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really can't think of backup quarterbacks. Wow.
Oh, I guess with PJ Walker and for Charlotte.
He needs to start.
Yeah, he's
like
good.
Darnold is.
Terrible.
Oh God. I'm so glad I dropped him.
Yeah, he sucks. He didn't throw to Bobby Anderson that once and lost me the game.
Who's Jalen Hurts backup?
Exactly.
It doesn't matter. It's Jalen. That's all we know.
Any last thoughts? Any last sentiments?
As always, go Red Sox.
Well, thank y'all for joining in for That's It. We hope to bring you more content soon. Thank y'all.
See y'all.